Rabbi Shmuley Metzger here at Chabad Sutton with a Torah thought on this week's Parsha. This week's Parsha starts off Hashem thanking Pinchas for his act of zealotry, and it says, Pinchas ben Elazar ben Aaron HaKohen b'kanei eskinasi b'seicham. And the first things that we notice here is that, first of all, it says Pinchas with a yud, which is unusual. Usually the vowel is built into the consonant. For example, Miriam is not spelled mem yud resh, it's mem resh. And Pinchas should really be spelled pei nun. It's spelled pei yud nun. So what is that about? And also it says b'soicham, that he displayed Hashem's zealotry, b'kanes kinasi, my zealotry, b'soicham, which seems like an extra word. B'soicham can mean in them or amongst them. So in order to address this, I'm reminded of something I heard years ago, that the Gabbai in 770 many years ago, was Rabbi Yechanan Gordon. And he mentioned that he was less than thrilled that when people come to the Rebbe during Tishrei, that they're running and vying for aliyahs and to be up center and to be up in the front, getting aliyahs and exhibiting themselves. And he said, when you come to the Rebbe, bittul is in order, and people should be moving to the back of the room and not trying to make a big display of themselves. As a matter of fact, Hasidim, one of the biggest insults, would be to call someone a chitzon, which is a surface person, an outside person. I'm not doing the word chitzon justice, but a combination of someone who's not living on the inside. They're living on the outside. And what's in order is to live in the inside. And so, when you have someone like Zimri, we read about in last week's Torah portion, he didn't just sin by himself. He had to make a big exhibit of it and a big display of himself. And so some people said, something, Pinchas is the same thing. He's also someone who needs to make a big display of himself publicly and show that he's such a big zealot. But that's not actually because for God reasons, he's just looking to get glory and honor. And so Hashem says here, Pinchas, spelled with a yud. Yud is just a dot. It represents the pintele yid, the deepest essence of a person. And Hashem adds that yud to his name to show that this is coming from the inside out. And bekanoi eskinasi, it's not that he's just an extremist. Sometimes you have people, they're extremists. If they live in the West Coast, they'll break someone's windows for using too much fossil fuel. If they're religious, then they find other ways to express their zealotry, their extremism. But it's not about the cause; it's about their pathology that they're extremists. Hashem says this is not who Pinchas is. We don't read about him before or after. He's a person who cares about the truth, and this is coming from his essence. And b'soicham, and the word b'soicham is that he affected them b'soicham in a deep way. This zealotry came from his essence, and he affected every single Jewish person in their essence, and made a very strong impact on them. That although he made a public display of standing up for Hashem and His honor, it wasn't about him. Zero glory for himself. It was all about Hashem, and that affected the people in the deepest way. And so the lesson here is, the enduring lesson is that it's okay to make a display. It's okay to go up front, but our Judaism has to be inside out and not the other way around. I'd like to take this opportunity to wish you and yours good Shabbos coming up, and every best wish. May these days be transformed to days of happiness and joy with the rebuilding of the Beis HaMikdash.